what's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today, as you can see, I have the ROG Claymore II keyboard in my hands here. And today we're gonna talk a little bit about it. Is this keyboard meant for you or not? And this is a 10 keyless keyboard. So you can do this and you can actually fit this here. Pretty insane stuff. But how good is it? Is this keyboard meant for you or not? That's what we're gonna try and find out in today's video here. And if you wish to buy the keyboard, check down below in my description. I'm gonna leave my Amazon affiliate link there, so you can buy it if you wish. But anyway, I've been using it for quite some time now here, and it's time for me to, talk a little bit about it. What were the upsides, what were the downsides, and literally this is the best wireless keyboard, mechanical keyboard I have ever tested, and this is, I think, one of the best mechanical keyboards in the world right now. So, thanks for watching. Wait, I should talk a little bit more, right? Yeah, this is a phenomenal keyboard from ASUS. ASUS has done an incredible job again. The last time that I saw their absolutely magnificent brilliance was when they brought us the ROG Chakra mouse, which is, in my opinion, the best mouse in the world right now. It's wireless, it has magnets, you can, take it apart just like that, clean them around, after long gaming sessions. It's a freaking good and insane and innovative mouse and looks bloody brilliant, right? So, why do I think that this keyboard is one of the best keyboards in the world at the moment? At least if you're looking for a mechanical wireless keyboard. Well, first of all, the Claymore II does house a mighty 4000 milliamp battery in it to bring you non-stop gaming usage for days, literally, before needing a recharge. This of course varies depending on whether you use RGB or not. It can then be quickly hooked up via the USB Type-C connection and still be used while wired up, while it charges to full in just about 30 minutes or a little bit more. Ready to be used again for days or even longer if you decide to, turn off the RGB effects. And man, does it look good even without RGB, just pure black. Pretty sure there's a ton of people out there that tell you, once you go black, you don't go back. Anyway, if you like rainbows, then ASUS has you covered as well, as it uses the ASUS's Aura Sync RGB lighting effects here that you can fully customize via the ASUS's Armory Grade software. A ton of selections to fiddle around with the effects there, and you can even make custom RGB layouts, but still no option to add multiple effects into one. And by that, what I mean, ASUS, are you listening? So, we have a keyboard here, right? If I go into the ASUS custom Aura Sync RGB creator, I want to use this rainbow effect, right? But when I hit a key, like the T key, it would explode in all different colors, right? Explode. I hit this key, explodes here as well. Hit many keys, it explodes everywhere, right? And then it, dies down and still has the ASUS's Aura Sync rainbow effect going on. And on top of that, I want maybe the VAST keys to be in white color or red or blue or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also in different colors. Maybe the arrow keys in different colors. They would always stay at those colors, but I could add multiple effects into one big effect, right? So that's still something that ASUS has not brought us in their software lineup. So I hope they actually improve the software a little bit so we could do multiple effects like this into one, if I made myself clear enough, right? So having this rainbow mode here, but if I hit keys, explosions go off, the explosions dissipate, and I still have my rainbow effect here, or whatever else effect, right? So things like that, please ASUS, I know you can do it, I know you can do it. Now, as you by now already noticed, it does look incredibly good. I mean, seriously, hats off to all designers at the ROG department on the Claymore II. This thing is one of the best looking and feeling keyboards around to date. From the brushed aluminium chassis to the ROG RGB logo on the top, Now, I've talked a lot, I know, but I still haven't made it to the most craziest parts of the keyboard. Yeah, it is a TKL keyboard, 10 key less, meaning it actually doesn't have the numpad. I mean, yeah, you see it now, but check this out. Yeah, baby, the numpad comes off and you can hook it up to the left side of the keyboard like a glove. Amazing! No, actually that's very cool and good for people who feel they could better utilize the numpad on the left side of the keyboard. This also makes it so you can use the mouse much closer to your other hand, and I mean, it does feel pretty good when playing video games. But I cannot reprogram my brain to use the numpad on the left side, at least not for now. But when I do, I know I have an option to try it out and make that happen. Of course, all other keyboards will be a little bit weird to use after that. Now, I did try to use the numpad on the left side of the keyboard in some games, but it doesn't really make sense to, you know, quickly use them for like hotkeys for some skills or spells or whatever, right? Your pinky is too far away from the numpad to make really good use of it in games, but you can still definitely try and make it happen, right? It's still, I think, a little bit better option in some certain scenarios, and I really like it that they brought the option to have the numpad not just be removed but actually be used on the left side of the keyboard, which is pretty nice. The only thing to actually nag about here is that the numpad isn't that tightly connected and I can move it around pretty easily up and down, but while using the keyboard to play or whatever else on the desk, it never ever bothers me. It doesn't really move. Only if I'd maybe, you know, use the keyboard in my lap, and then I do feel that it could perhaps break. Plus the weird flex that it makes, it's not the best connection, but I do feel it could be easily improved in the future revisions, but as for now I just have to deal with it. And for myself, I don't see myself using the keyboard in my lap for hardcore gaming anyway, so not a real big issue. But don't get me wrong, it shouldn't really flex like that. Now, coming to other things, as I mentioned earlier, there are a ton of things to fiddle around in the ROG Armory Grade software, and one of those things is to select how bright the LEDs are and when to hibernate the keyboard. I feel the 75% LED brightness is the best all around, and around 3 to 5 minutes of inactivity that it would, you know, go into its sleep state and switch off all the LEDs. It is a bit sad not to see the RGB turned on all the time, but it is an inconvenience I will take to having one of the best looking and functioning wireless mechanical keyboards that are out there, right? Now, it also has some great media buttons, as you can see. I really love the big scroll wheel to adjust the audio levels, but I feel the scroll wheel was working best when it was next to the S key, like on the ROG Flare. Very simple to adjust the volume with my left hand instead of, you know, travel halfway across the keyboard, or, you know, taking my hand off the mouse to actually control the volume or the media keys, right? Also, on the ROG Flare, you could push the scroll wheel down as an extra button to instantly mute the audio, which was very nice. On the Claymore II, you don't have this option, but you do have some extra media buttons that look like they came straight out of a Lamborghini. Very cool and nice to push buttons that you can, of course, reconfigure to do whatever you like as, you know, extra macro keys. Some other stuff to mention here is that it does have an extra USB port with pass-through technology, which means you can use it as an extra USB port, but only if the USB Type-C cable is hooked into the keyboard. Kinda sad, but what are you gonna do, right? It would have drained extra battery power anyway if it would have worked without the USB Type-C cable. And as you can see, it does come with an extra armrest, which is super comfortable for those people who still prefer an armrest. It hooks up via magnets and stays firmly locked on. Now for the switches, the Claymore II uses ROG RX optical mechanical switches. The ones on my keyboard here are using the RX Red, which should be similar to the MX Cherry Red switches. I feel these are great for anyone looking for a quiet mechanical keyboard, very smooth to push all the way down without the clicky noise. Feels like puddler. I mean, overall this is a really perfect wireless mechanical keyboard if you're ever into looking for a wireless keyboard, and if you're still, you know, thinking on should I make the switch, you know, going from a wired mechanical keyboard and looking all the wireless keyboards out there, most of them not mechanical and don't look that good, don't work maybe that good, then this one here is absolutely phenomenal if you can afford the around 260 euro price range, which is actually not a lot considering it is a fully mechanical wireless keyboard that lasts for days and actually looks good, and it's TKL, right? 10 keyless keyboard. You can actually remove the numpad if you don't want it, or have it on or have it on the other side, right? So there's a lot of options out there. So my final verdict is going to be a 9.9 out of 10. I mean, almost ASUS, almost. The only reason for me not giving it my first ever perfect 10 out of 10 has to be that the numpad, you know, flexes too much for my liking. Yeah, I understand that it can be detached and all that, but ASUS should have reinforced it so it wouldn't feel this flimsy when I actually want to use the keyboard in my lap. That and still the missing feature of mixing multiple RGB effects into one is missing from the software side of things. Either way, this is a perfect keyboard to get, and I personally am gonna switch out finally my final wired thing on my desk, I guess, right? So I have a wireless mouse as the ROG Chakram, and now I'm gonna switch out my keyboard for the ROG Claymore II, right? And yeah, it should be a pretty good time, and maybe I'll do an update video like a year later and, you know, give my feedback on how it has been after a year of full use, right? But at the moment, I'm gonna put the numpad back on here, and I'm gonna use it as is, right? And gonna do some really long gaming sessions. Anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, if you have any questions about the keyboard, leave them down below in the comments section and I'll try to answer them. But for now, ciao.